What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So you guys have sent me this video about 17, 18 times, if I was counting, the truth about Caitlin Clark. Now, don't know if it's going to be a bad video, talking badly about her, or a video that's, putting in a positive light. But we said we'll react to it, so here we are. Before we do,
please smash the subscribe button.
Make
Should
sure
I say it
you
louder?
subscribe.
Smash that subscribe button.
Hulk smash it.
Smash.
All right, I'll turn the volume down on that bit, guys. Let's get into the video.
Some athletes are great, but very rarely does an athlete make
Jordan.
such an impact that they begin to transcend their sport. You know, those
Messi.
times where an athlete is creating so much buzz that people
Serena.
who don't even follow the sport know their name. These athletes hardly ever come around.
It's funny because when we watched the previous Caitlin Clark video, we were dropping names like Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, Serena Williams,
yep.
saying these are people who really did elevate their sport. And it's funny, he says, he's doing a similar comparison at the moment.
But when they do, something special is going on. Growing up, I used to skate, so of course I know who Tony Hawk is.
Even I know
But
that.
My mom also knows who Tony Hawk is. In a sport that tends to only retain the most diehard
Tiger
fans,
Woods.
Usain Bolt
Golf.
was so incredible
I don't
that he
watch golf.
became a household
You know of
name.
him?
And it also helped that his name sounds like he was destined to be
Usain
the fastest
Bolt.
man of all time. Ask the average person to name any golfer, and they'll instantly say Tiger Woods, followed by no one else. There are very
It's true.
few
It's so
athletes
true.
that reach this level of popularity, where they almost single-handedly lift their sport to new heights.
Ronaldo.
And right now, women's basketball is home to an athlete that may just be next in line to be one of these transcendent athletes. Caitlin Clark has only been in the WNBA for one season, and she is already the face of the league, drawing in more fans, viewers, money than ever before. But it hasn't come without harsh criticism, some of it targeted at the disproportionate admiration and attention being given to just one player, and some of this criticism claiming she simply isn't nearly as dominant as we are led to believe, a product of the sports media machine pushing their golden child. Is Caitlin Clark really as good as advertised? Or have her talents been overblown for the sake of the WNBA and the future of women's basketball?
Not gonna lie, from what me and Fats have watched and reacted to, she's a special player. I have no knowledge on WNBA. I had no interest to want to know anything about WNBA. You guys kept commenting this name, Caitlin Clark. I'm thinking, who the hell is Caitlin Clark? Like, who is this person? I Google her. All right, women's NBA player. We watched one video, and that's all we needed to watch to know. She is... I'm not even trying to brown note, genuinely, because, I don't benefit in bigging her up like this in any way. I have to be honest. This is me being real. She's one of a kind player for women's NBA.
Yeah.
Like, she really, and I don't think there's going to be a player like her for a very, very long time from what we've seen.
I agree.
And I want to personally thank Caitlin Clark for lifting up our sport.
There we go. That's the credit she needs.
This year, the women of the NCAA Basketball Championship accomplished something completely unprecedented. Throughout the game, they drew in nearly 19 million viewers, a number that shattered every NCAA women's record, exceeded the viewership of any men's tournament game over the last half-decade, and even surpassed every single NBA Finals game since 2018.
No way.
The game was a groundbreaking
That's
spectacle,
crazy.
with people who had never even tuned into a single basketball game in their life turning on the TVs to see who would be crowned champions. The majority of this flocking attributed to one player, Caitlin Clark. Her unbelievable range and record-breaking performances proving to be must-watch TV. The true testament of her greatness and impact, all of the doubt and borderline detest that quickly followed her ascent. Some fans and players, both past and present, questioning if her talents would translate to the next level and if the horde of fans she inspired would follow. They did. Her WNBA debut attracted the most viewers of any WNBA game in the history of ESPN. Indiana's home game attendance jumped
Since
from an average of
2001.
4,000 fans last season to an average of over 17,000 fans this season, a more than 400% increase in just a single year. Transactions in the Fever's
That
team
says
store
something as
jumped
well.
over
Items
700%,
sold.
and WNBA viewership has skyrocketed to levels that even Clark's biggest advocates could not foresee. Game 4 of last year's WNBA Finals drew in more viewers than any WNBA game over the last 2 decades, with 728,000 fans tuning in for the game, living up to the hype as one of the most anticipated games in the history of the league. This season, there were 22 regular season games that eclipsed that mark, 21 of them drawing in over 1 million viewers. Even crazy.
That's wild to think her impact as one player, what it's done for their whole sport. That's actually unreal. Like,
that's why people are hating on her, though, because she's the reason why all this attraction is coming, and they're probably thinking, the haters are thinking, why is it not me?
And they might have been, because bear in mind, this is her first season. Some of these girls who she's playing against have been playing WNBA for like 5-6 years on television. Then this girl comes and all of a sudden she's like this golden child that blows. So they feel a type of way because they feel like I've been putting blood, sweat and tears. Why couldn't I have this impact? But on the bright side, you need to cherish this kind of talent and this kind of attraction she's brought. She's changed the whole sport completely for them. And rather than hate on it, you need to appreciate on it, you know? That's the difference.
Yeah.
This year, 18 of those 22 games featured Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever.
There we go.
But the most revealing evidence of the now dubbed Caitlin Clark effect is the fact that WNBA viewership has nearly caught up with NBA viewership in 2024. On ESPN, NBA games averaged 1.56 million viewers this past season. WNBA games averaged 1.2 million viewers,
right behind
a number
them.
that was inconceivable just a couple years ago. But Caitlin Clark's soaring popularity has been a point of contention for many fans of the WNBA, frustrated that in a league that is bursting with talent right now, it's all just being overlooked for the poster child of women's basketball. Do Caitlin's abilities actually warrant the hype? In just her rookie season, Caitlin broke over a dozen league and franchise records, including the WNBA's single-season assist record. She set the record for the most assists in a single game. She received the most All-Star votes of any player in WNBA history, set a new league record for double-doubles by a guard in a single season, scored the most points of any rookie in league history, and became the first rookie in WNBA history to...
How do you break that many records on your first season? And these are like records, like big boy records that have never been broken.
Put up a triple-double. Just this past week, it was announced that Caitlin made first-team All-WNBA, which makes her the first rookie to make first-team All-League since Candace Parker did it 16 years ago. Turns out those awe-inspiring performances from her days in college did in fact translate to the pros. Because even against the best defense in the world, she is pretty much an offensive cheat code. Throughout her rookie season, with points and assists, Clark generated 45.2% of all points produced by the Indiana Fever. For perspective, she has a larger offensive load than every single player in the NBA last season, outside of Luka Doncic. And she's
She's second highest, and that's total offense, so percentage, second highest, and that's with the men's league. That's crazy.
Rookie. But to really understand Caitlin's unparalleled offensive prowess, here are the 200 most productive offensive seasons in WNBA history on a scale of points generated per game. And among these seasons, you'll find the greatest players in the league's history. Lisa Leslie, Tamika Catchings, Cheryl Swoops, Candace Parker, and Angel McCoughtry have tons of seasons littered throughout this chart. Climb towards the top and you'll find seasons from Asia Wilson and Cynthia Cooper. But with 4 of the top 10 most productive offensive seasons in WNBA history is Diana Taurasi, her 2006 campaign being the best of them all, producing 33.9 points per game.
Which sounds
And
really
then there's
good.
Caitlin Clark, who is already the most...
The anomaly. She's literally an anomaly.
Yeah.
Like, when you look at that, look how close all these women, and these are the top record breaking people, in history. They're still like very competitively close. Then there's an anomaly.
She's in her own little...
She's in her own league.
She's in her own galaxy.
Against people like, this is in the last, 20, 30 years. Like, it's not even just her current people. And that's her first season. These are people at their peak of their careers. She's still like growing.
Yep.
potent offensive player in
That's
the history
crazy.
of the
What the hell?
WNBA in her rookie season.
Unreal.
Women's hoops has never seen a player like this. And as absurd as her numbers are, how she puts up these numbers is just as incredible. Here are the players who attempt the longest three-pointers on average in the NBA last season, with Trae Young leading the league with the deepest three-point attempts with an average distance of 27.94 feet, and Damian Lillard and Stephen Curry just a shade closer. Despite it still being worth the same amount of points, the longest shooters in the NBA are stepping 4 feet outside the three-point line on their attempts. But even amongst the deepest shooters in the world, Caitlin Clark is on her own island, because throughout the 2024 regular season, her average three-point distance was 28.1 feet, which is not only further than any player in the NBA and in the WNBA, it is a whopping 6 feet out from the WNBA three-point line. Has Caitlin Clark been worth all the attention and hype that has engulfed her over the last 2 years?
Yep.
Yeah, I'd say so. She didn't just have a successful rookie season. She had one of the best rookie seasons in recent basketball history. And this isn't just to her benefit, but the benefit of the entire WNBA. Because the seismic boost in the WNBA's popularity this season is not limited to those turning on the games to see what she'll do next. It can also be found in the fans actually showing up to the games. Looking at a chart of the average attendance of WNBA games since the inception of the league in 1997 will tell you a story of a league that has seen their fair share of good days and bad ones. In 1997, there were only 8 WNBA teams, all with really healthy attendance numbers due to the excitement of a new women's league. The league quickly expanded to 16 teams, with a handful of teams emerging as fan favorites, like the Washington Mystics, the Phoenix Mercury, and the LA Sparks. But with a massive league expansion came a nearly equal retraction. Many teams folding along the way, such as the Soul, Fire, Miracle, and Sting. But it wasn't until COVID where the league's once steady fan base was wiped out. In 2020, there were no fans in attendance due to COVID protocols, and when play resumed in 2021, attendance was at an all-time low. A number that has been quickly rising in the few years since the pandemic, but has specifically seen an explosion this season, where for the first time, league attendance was higher than the WNBA's inaugural season. The Indiana Fever seeing the highest attendance numbers in league history, nearly selling out every single home game. In a league where attracting the casual fan has been a seemingly insurmountable task, Caitlin Clark has defied the odds by not only drawing in new fans for her and her team, but rising the tides for the entire league. This is completely unprecedented, at least in the
And this is why they got to respect her. I'm not saying the opposition team need to bumlick her. I'm not saying they have to be a beg to her, but just give her her flowers. Like, don't be disrespectful. She's literally put food on you all, like a lot of players' tables for their kids and their families. Like, literally. Apparently they were used to, sorry, cut you off. Sorry. Apparently they used to take like coach everywhere. Now they take catered planes because of her.
They take what?
Chartered planes or something.
Really?
Like, because of the money in the league's a lot more now.
Wow.
So what was you going to say?
I was going to say, it's not down to favoritism, the reason to why she's so successful and like loved by the sport.
Agreed.
We've seen the stats here themselves. Like we saw a comparison of, you know, when there was 2 charts of like women. She was in the chart with men.
Yeah.
And then when they're showing the stats of the furthest distance to throw the ball, it was all men. She's the only woman over there. And she
beat them.
Yeah. She's been compared to top athletes who have been doing this for many years. And then even this one, look, stats right here as well.
Yeah, stats again.
Like, she's winning because of all this stats. It's not favoritism or anything.
Men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
Yep, there you go.
WNBA it is. But there was a time when the NBA was facing similar struggles until a pair of players showed up and changed everything. After the success of the Celtics in the 1960s, the NBA's growth in popularity had come to a grinding halt in the 70s. The league had a rampant drug problem. An emerging rival league known as the ABA was picking up steam, and the NBA didn't really have a face to propel the league into the next decade. Jerry West was on his way out, Kareem was incredible, but he didn't really have the personality or charm that fans gravitate towards. Bill Walton's prime was cut short due to injuries, and many fans felt Julius Erving's introduction to the league after leaving the ABA in 1976 was a bit short of what was advertised. Many games were lucky to see even half capacity in attendance. Many teams were losing money. The NBA had fallen to a, quote, second-tier sport behind the NFL, MLB, and NHL. All of this culminating to the point where some networks infamously had NBA Finals games on tape delay in the late 70s due to low ratings. The league was in desperate need of a generational, transcendent superstar.
Michael Jordan?
Lucky for them, they got two. Coming off the most popular rivalry in the history of college basketball, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson.
Larry Bird. A lot of you in the comment section is comparing Caitlin Clark to Larry Bird with her assists and passing. I've never watched Larry Bird. I don't know how good he is. I know he's a legend. I just don't know the level he's at.
You know what? Guys, recommend videos to us of what we should watch.
Yeah, like Larry Bird or Michael Jordan. Yeah. We don't really watch NBA at all. So it'll be good to watch these guys if you guys want to see it as well.
The league to new heights in the 80s, transforming the NBA from a second-rate league into a behemoth of sports and entertainment. A tandem that many longtime NBA fans say saved the NBA.
Wow.
Magic Johnson.
This isn't to say Caitlin is the second coming of two of the greatest, most important figures in the history of basketball. But her impact on the sport at such an early stage in her career has reached a level reminiscent of some of the most influential athletes.
You know what I want to say as well? Like, for example, you know how they're talking about certain superstars come in and save a sport? Now, like we could talk about Ronaldo and Messi, but they didn't save the sport. The sport was already blown, the money was there. They're superstars in the sport, but they didn't save the sport. This is a comparison that I'm just thinking of now. I thought, because we watched a lot of UFC previously, if you're into UFC guys, we've done a lot of reactions in the past to it, but Conor McGregor in the UFC was very low scale. It wasn't booming like that. Like there was money, but it was not like some established sport to that extent. When Conor McGregor came, he literally done what Caitlin Clark's doing now for the WNBA. Broken so many records, pumped so much money. Like people were getting I don't know, let's just say for example, they were earning 60k a fight. Fighters went from 60k to 300k. McGregor was earning millions per fight. Like he excelled that sport. Now respect to people like Ronaldo and Messi and these superstars, because obviously they are legendary players, but they didn't excel the sport because the sport was already there. Caitlin Clark is excelling something that's broken, basically, which is way harder and more unique.
Yep. And she's increasing everyone's paychecks as well.
Everyone. She's doing exactly what McGregor done for the UFC.
Athletes of all time relative to their sport. Because her popularity hasn't just affected her, it has had a cascading effect on players across the entire WNBA. Clark has essentially become the gateway to NBA fandom for many people. They come to witness the phenomenon that she is and end up staying once they see just how awesome the league and its players are. Players around the league are signing groundbreaking endorsement deals. Teams now have their own planes and new facilities. Many WNBA players have become household names, some of the most recognizable figures in sports today. There is real, genuine discourse about the games and the players right now that exists beyond the diehard fans. Conversations about the WNBA are now no longer about the legitimacy of the league itself, but instead about its players, records being broken, rivalries, the playoffs, title hopes, the draft, and up-and-coming prospects. It's understandable that Caitlin's explosion in popularity has caused a lot of tension. Why is she getting all the attention when there's tons of great players around the league doing great things? The answer to that question? Well, it depends on who you ask. But there's no denying the widespread impact Clark has made on the league in just a single season. For years, players in the WNBA pushed for people to give their talents and their skills and the product a chance. And in record numbers, people finally are. Now, what it took to get them to tune in may not be the most ideal circumstance, where for many casual fans, one player is overshadowing the vast majority of an entire league, but it's 1,000 steps in the right direction. Whether the Caitlin Clark effect will have a lasting impact on the league and retain these new viewers and fans and continue to draw in more in the future is something that only time will tell. But one season in, and she is on a path to being one of the very few truly game-changing athletes of her generation. And yes, she's got all the talent to back it up.
Numbers don't lie.
Yep.
I really hope she smashes this upcoming season and continues her, strive towards greatness, because she's done a lot for that sport.
I feel like she will, though, because there isn't, from what we've seen, another player competitor, unless there's somebody out there in this world that is to her level that was to join WNBA. But other than that,
At the moment, there's no one there.
Yeah,
there's no one.
Not that we know of.
Well,
there might be someone in, I don't know, India or something.
Who's training. Guys, thanks so much for the recommendation. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment below any other videos like this you want us to react to. For now, peace out.
Bye.